Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We got a double header for you guys tonight on stream one. Of course, you guys saw the announcement. Dropping point nights versus Oversoul Aces. But over here, we got White Lotus, Black Thorn versus Adria Harambe as we already get into those picks and bans as they're already firing off pretty quickly. As we already, Jesus Christ, we're already through all three of the first rotation of bands.
All the bands are done. Now it's time to see what they're picking.
Yeah, speaking of picking, you guys got your boy Ghost here casting alongside Jerry. We're gonna be with you for this series, this BO3, and hopefully it's a banger.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they have, and I'm already liking the first pick. I love putting my top laners onto that Ornn duty.
Yes, sir.
They can play a tank. That's it.
Yes, sir. Call of the Forest God, one of the best team fight starters you can have.
Yeah, and then again, already we're seeing some great drafting just because Ornn is just always going to be valuable. Jinx as well, just going to scale into the late game and be valuable. This is some classic IBSG drafting that I love to see.
Yes, sir. Give him a round of applause. But speaking of IBSG drafting, we got the Mordekaiser coming out to answer the Ornn already. This is unusual, man. I'm not used to seeing these kind of picks early on.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked to see that picked up. I don't know the matchup that well. Hopefully Mordekaiser does just kind of stomp that Ornn. Because if he doesn't get ahead, then it's going to be a problem later down in the line in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Mordekaiser is a problem for Ornn in the lane, but Ornn base stats, you gotta love him early. You gotta love him. But speaking of stats, we got another Smolder. I swear to God, I feel like every time I say this champion's name, saying that he's on my permaban list for IBSG. When I say permaban, I don't mean like literally banned in draft, but I don't normally like IBSG players playing him.
Yeah, I think that my big issue with seeing Smolders is that I think teams tunnel in too much on the fact that they have the late game and they'll be too passive, and then eventually their chance to win the game is just going to be slipping through their fingers at a certain point.
It just majority of them don't actually get stacks fast enough.
Yeah.
30-40 minutes into the game, finally hitting 225. But speaking of hitting and spitting, speaking of hitting somebody with something in late game, AJ Ripper has been picking up that Lux, getting hit with a final spark late game every 25-ish, 30 seconds. Not gonna feel.
Oh yeah, there's no cooldown on that ability.
Yep. But ban is coming out again. Orianna being taken off the board. Making sure that White Lotus, they don't have as many team files. They already got Crescendo and Call of the Forest God.
Yeah, and looks like potentially a Volibear ban. I'm not quite sure if the jungler must play Volibear in the jungle to warrant that ban, but we'll see what else they ban out. Possibly another mid laner, or like you said, just another team fight ultimate that coming from either the jungle or from their mid laner.
I don't know. I expect a jungle ban here. I would think they would ban something that would keep White Lotus Black Rose from trying to hard engage, follow up on their Ornn ultimate. And instead, no,
yep, there it
another
is.
mid laner. It'll be Ari.
Yeah, seems like the jungler for one side, the jungler for AG Rip Harambe getting banned out, and the mid laner for Black Rose getting banned out pretty heavily.
Definitely so, but Syndra's gonna be locked in for AJ Rip Harambe. So much magic damage coming out from their side. I mean, Lux, Mordekaiser, Syndra. I mean, if they don't have an AD jungler, hey man, that's gonna be a rough day unless somebody builds up. What is it? New item came out this season? It's basically Black Cleaver, but for AP.
Oh yeah.
Bloodletter.
Bloodletter's curse thing. Yeah, I've never seen anyone build that.
It's gonna be the first game.
Yeah, the damage spread is definitely a little bit lacking on the side of Harambe, and we see a Yasuo locked in. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. Obviously, it must be a comfort pick, but yeah, there's not much he's going to be able to win wall aside from those Jinx autos and maybe the Lux abilities, but that Syndra can go straight through him.
All right, so I don't know how I feel about these drafts. Sorry, so it was starting off great. It was starting off good at first. But here's the problem, right? We got White Lotus, Yeah, we cooking with Yasuo. Granted, I said some words about Yasuo last week, and then I forgot which series it was, but they showed me up. All right, they showed me up.
Mm-hmm.
But AG Rip Harambe has Mordekaiser, and White Lotus has only 2 damage dealers.
Yeah. White Lotus is it's not quite a standard composition for getting their damage. Their damage is actually pretty pretty
Low.
sparse and slow. On top of being pretty slow, it's actually close range with the Yasuo. So if that Yasuo gets locked up, whether it's Mord, Syndra, Vi, Lux, anyone, I mean, he's just gonna go down instantly, and that's a good chunk of their damage that they should have had.
And even still, even if he doesn't get taken down, just getting taken out of the fight to the death realm is gonna hurt them so much.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, AG Rip Harambe, I mean Mordekaiser, Lux, I mean Syndra, we got the Vi. I mean, they might have to build the Bloodletter's Curse because of Orin and Amumu existing, but outside of that, they got a good amount of damage coming out of that team.
Yeah, I'm definitely vibing with AG Rip Harambe right now. I think their composition is just a little bit better, a little bit more cohesive. They don't have like a true tank. They don't have that Ornn or that Malphite or any other tank, but like they have a good amount of damage that could kind of shred through anyone on Black Rose. So that's Sona's squishy, Smolder squishy. If they can get anyone locked up with Lux or Syndra, I mean Jinx is just gonna cut them in half.
I mean, I just want to also point out that there's a chance they could die. Getting CC'd half to death if Smolder gets online early enough.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, but that's draft for game 1, guys. We're gonna go to a quick intermission. When we get back, we'll be hitting the grid. I said grid. Good lord, I've been watching a little too much F1 as of late. We're gonna be hitting the rift for game 1 of AG Rip Harambe versus White Lotus, Black Rose. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're now on the Rift for Game 1 of White Lotus Black Rose versus AG Rip Harambe. Just make sure you guys understand. Second game I casted now, I've seen Yasuo, and I think this may be the fourth game I casted this season. Seen Smolder. 2 champions, they're on my IBSG ban list, and everybody keeps trying to prove it wrong. What's going on here?
Well,
What's
I think
going on
that's
here?
just the mentality. At least that's me. I'm a hard-headed player as well. If you don't want me playing it, I'm locking it in.
And I respect the grind. We
I
ball, I
am a
guess.
better player. I am better. I will lock it in.
Hey, yo, I
Standard 5
respect
point
that.
right now, straight down the rift.
Yeah, we just out here staring at each other in his eyes. I'm like, hey, I know you're there.
I would love to see all of them just 1v1 right now. They're all matched up, tops to top, mid to mid, jungle to jungle. This is just a perfect 1v1, 5 1v1s at the same time scenario.
Man, they couldn't have me in this game. I'd be in all chat screaming, no balls. Let's go, baby.
Okay, I my camera's on Sona and she is just spamming that music. It is breaking my ears.
I think my sound just broken it, so I barely heard it. It was like, It's like, okay. But standard starts for the lanes. Nothing too crazy, as we already seen Mao and mid are getting a little bit aggressive on his Yasuo. Starting to E first.
That is I have not thought about starting E first on Yasuo. I think it's just he needs the range and sustain in lane at least. Like even lethal tempo, I think is a little bit dangerous to be running. Like I feel like fleet footwork is what you kind of need to go into most of these matchups when you're playing Yas mid.
Man, but now as we are continuing on, White Lotus in that bot side, they're gonna lose the level 2 advantage. We already seen Sona half HP. Target, is he gonna flash? No, but heal is gonna be brought out. You're gonna flash now. There it is. And now Sinful with no summoners. Gonna have to pop those potions and hope and pray to God that they don't get engaged on again. Like that.
Yeah, being able to clutch out those summoners from that enchanter support that doesn't have any lockdown is going to be really important for that bot lane, especially with the weak side that Smolder kind of brings to the table. So I'm hoping that we see some bot lane action. And it's looking a little dangerous, this Vi moving in the mid lane. Moving back to some pretty standard laning, jungle clearing. We do see the Amumu just a little bit farther ahead. He did clear his red buff before moving on to those Krugs. Actually pretty masterfully able to pop it on that last second. So his clear is actually going to be pretty quick compared to the Vi, who did go for that mid gank. Was able to get the flash off of Yasuo, so that can be potentially a game changer for the Syndra.
Speaking of a potential game changer, we already seeing Mumu's passing down to that bottom side. Possibly look for that gank, but he's gonna be spotted out by that ward.
Yep, just moving over to the Scuttle Crab. And already has it. It is level 4, but AG Rip Harambe already moving up to contest that. Gonna force his flash as well.
Alright, but in that top side too, half HP for both sides. But this Mordekaiser proven to be able to get some damage down this Ornn. But like I said before, Ornn and base damage, that man can fight back early. Right now, with both have no items, it's bordering on an even fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, just sitting there trying to think you're going to take a good trade against an Ornn and then brittled and grasp, and he's just chunking you out for a lot more than you expect.
Yes, sir. But now on this bottom side, this Smolder, I had to keep track of his stats. Let's see where he's at right now. And a smooth 19 for Dragon practice. But I will say in this mid, granted, CS is close to being the same, and as I was about to compliment him, he takes a good old Dark Sphere Scatter the Weak combo.
And he misses the cannon on top of it all. I think that's the worst part, is that missing the cannon. It's just the feeling there is just complete pain.
Yeah, I was about to compliment him too. His aggression, how the way he's playing the lane was good, and I just saw that. I was like, all right, I can't compliment him while you're getting beat down on cam.
Yeah, and then I mean, the Cam popped up to the top lane just to see a brittle trade onto a shield, and they both actually reset, brought their teleports, so they're healthy, just sitting up there. Neither of them mind just taking their time.
Don't mind at all. And Donny B's about a quarter HP. Just this aggression coming out from this Yasuo is just raw and uncut, man. Like this is
Yeah,
painful to watch for him.
yeah, especially able to get a level lead in that matchup. I mean, that's a lot. That'll mean the world for any melee mid laner.
Peppa being bullied off the lane bit. Mordekaiser now hit that level 6 Human Mage. Trying to make sure to deny the XP. Not exactly working too well though. Peppa just saying, you know, I'm gonna walk up anyway. But granted, only down by ACS, so not doing bad at all in this lane, holding his own. But for the side of White Lotus, gonna be starting this dragon halfway dead. But now here comes Brayer, charged up Q, Vault Breaker, make sure to be able to catch his target. Vex gonna die for the dragon, but not gonna be able to secure it. As now the side of AG Rip Harambe, they're gonna find the kill on the Mummy and also the Chemtech Drake.
Yeah, I think that there was just a mistake entirely on the side of White Lotus there. They need to recognize that they have a Smolder and a Sona. They don't have the range advantage. They don't have the damage. They need to get vision and ensure that they handshake those objectives because they're not able to contest it. So the damage is and CC from AG Rip Harambe just a little bit too much for them to handle right now. Give it a couple minutes, maybe 20 minutes into the game. Yeah, they can contest, but for right now, not right now.
Not at all. But I'm kind of curious now how the rest of this early games gonna be playing now. Because now we have Vi on this bottom side, but that Smolder, Momo, and Sinful already under that tower. Not really seeing much they can do if they want to dive, as Brer doesn't have level 6 yet. But for a Mumu there, Vex and Mao, they already started on those grubs. But here comes Mao. Call of the Forge God comes out. But so does and Mordekaiser bring his ultimate in, and now Peppa's stuck in that realm of death, almost dead. But it's gonna be 3 versus Hemo Mage. How does he get out of this? Flash expended, but Mao is on the chase. He's gonna be able to walk out of the sky free.
able to almost walk out of it.
Yep. Only thing he had to blow was a flash, but Moon could look to abuse that possibly. Could look to come back again. You see it, a little trades going this bottom side. Major unfortunately keeps taking the worst of it.
We can just see the CS right now. It's pretty even across all lanes, except for that top side is down about almost 2 waves. Not going to be able to land that third strike on his Steel Tempest.
Yep, no Steel Tempest for him. But I'm just waiting for the one big fight early, because normally every game I cast, I got a curse. Normally all hell breaks loose within 5 minutes, but not today, I guess. Not this game.
I just have the exact opposite curse. I have commentated a couple games, and every single one of them, there have been no fights, and we get the voracious Atacon.
Wow. I guess your curse is stronger than mine. We on some Jutsu Kaisen type stuff here.
Yeah, pretty strong curse level over here for me. We're in my domain, the domain where apparently nothing happens.
Hey man, I'm gonna need you to swap off. I need some action, man. I'm pretty sure people watching at home do too.
But as far as the players go, this is good for them.
Alright, but
this is great for the players.
So here comes Brer, and he does have this level 6 available. And keep in mind, no ultimates utilized for both mids. So now the chase is on. Mao's gonna find his way into the bottom lane, and now Flash is utilized. Mom is down. Crescendo used also. So many flashes and abilities being used. But Momo is gonna find the first kill of the fight, as now the Mummy has entered the fray, and 2 is added to the kill count for White Lotus Black Roses. Donny Bees is on the run. Flash forward. Momo's trying to get this kill, but Donny Bees is gonna flash away too. So it's gonna end it off right there. But Vex gonna make sure that when he walks out, he's gonna be taking some of the kills along with him.
Yeah, extremely strong turnaround from White Lotus Black Rose on that. Able to get the crescendo onto the AG Major and Perfect Bill, both of them getting caught up and taking a lot of damage and having to get out of there. Which I think actually AG Major didn't get out of there, and through that, Curse of the Sad Mummy able to pop onto Brayer as well and secure another kill for that Black Rose team.
Yep, kill secured, and a kill onto the Smolder. You gotta love that. Unfortunately, though, if you're on the side of White Lotus, you kind of want Mao to get the kill. Mao be toast.
Mm-hmm.
But, 2 assists is better than nothing. And you're only down by 2 assists, so you should put some ahead against Syndra. But if we look at the top side, that Death Realm's gonna be popped.
Hey, he's actually going to be unstoppable. The Ornn is able to use that Bellows Breath and counteract that Death Realm from Mordekaiser. So either really well timed or fortunate accident. But yeah, that's that's going to end that trade right there.
Yes, sir. Time is impeccable. Gotta love it. Alright, but even though we saw the little chaotic fight in the bottom side, gold is still about even. Actually, it's exactly even. Rare occasion you see that in League of Legends.
Yeah, neither side is really showing a significant gold lead. You'll see a little bit here and there on the mid lane and the ADC for Black Rose, but then the top side you'll see about 500 gold difference between the Mordekaiser and the Ornn. So more just having that CS lead is gonna benefit him greatly.
All right, well, here we go again, a rerun of my favorite TV show. White Lotus Black Rose tries to go for Dragon in game 1. As now the rest of AG Rip Harambe, they're converging, but they're not going to make it in time. But Teleport is coming out. Mordekaiser is going to be here for this fight. As now this Dragon go either way. As now this time Vex will get it. Forced to use Curse of the Sad Mummy, but he's going to die. And now this fight is just going south for the side of White Lotus. Or it wasn't now, as now Call of the Forest God. It sets up the 2 kills as Yasuo knocked the 1 down. And now we got to fight in this around this tri-bush. It can go either way at the moment, but both sides are going to opt to back off.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of action for just one dragon. And at the end, I mean, Black Rose able to come out with more or less a 1,000 gold lead now. We're seeing 2 shutdowns put onto the Yasuo and the Smolder. Real small right now, but those could grow even bigger as we get into the mid-game.
I like this TV show. I'm just saying, Keep giving me the reruns of White Lotus starts Dragon in game 1.
I mean, we could see the next episode, let's see, in 2 minutes at Grubs.
Oh, true. I don't know. Last time it didn't really amount to anything. It just amounted to Chemo Mage running for his life. I don't know. Maybe they could secure it this go around.
Was Yuntal Wild Arrows able to get picked up by the Jinx, so that is going to be her first item spike. She doesn't have boots at all yet, which is a little bit interesting.
Little suspect.
Yeah, I feel like into a matchup, especially with a Smolder, and oh my goodness.
We saw the entire combo get missed, and now here comes the aggression coming out. Major's almost dead. Barry's gonna be suspended, but here comes the teleport from Don't Eat Bees trying to protect his teammates. Will he land the scatter the weak combo? He will. Here comes the super back up rocket, but it's gonna hit simple now. Momo. The chase is on. Mom is coming down, and Major almost taken down. He's gonna die instead. And a 1-for-1 trade for this bot lane.
Yeah, what started out as a really strong position for White Lotus Black Rose actually ended up turning pretty sour towards the end with that Syndra teleporting in. Obviously, you can't predict every skill shot, whether it's a Light Binding, your Lucid Singularity, or your Final Spark on Lux. We all saw them miss it, but don't worry. I'm sure they're going to hit the next ones.
We'll see. Only time will tell on that one, but that was egregious. Peppa Pig being taken to the Mordekaiser. Oh, boy. He's going to eventually keeps taking trades like that. He's going to be forced to back, and he doesn't have teleport either, so.
Yeah, we are seeing just how strong this Mordekaiser into this lane, just able to shield every single brittle trade, so he may go down 200 on his shield, but it's not going to mean anything because it's not touching his actual health bar. Plus, he can just heal it all up. This matchup is looking real rough for Ornn, and we actually see all of that hitting onto the Sona this time around.
All right, look like you predicted well. Here comes the flash for the Jinx. Simple on the run, but the Smolder W, the Chu is gonna be able to save his support's life. All right, both junglers are also on this bottom side of this. Brayer was looking for Bob, but now gonna be running mid as Last Breath utilized on Don't Eat Bees, but not gonna be able to find the kill. But here comes Vex. Like Major's gonna find himself in a bad spot. Bandage Toss's gonna miss. And unfortunately, Momo got caught in the Flame Jumper, so no more follow-up with that.
Yeah, these junglers are seemingly in the right place just before the right time, or just a little bit after the right time. They're almost there, ready for the counter, and they're not quite able to, guarantee any kills or gold for them. And we see the Vi going for her grubs right now, and I think this Amumu should know because he took the blue buff last time. He should know that this blue buff is up. So, I mean, I'm risk averse as long as I'm going to get a benefit. So I think that's you trade that blue buff for whatever amount of grubs this person was able to grab before Herald came in.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they're really going to be able to go for it like that, especially with Vi's gonna go over this wall. Moon was actually gonna go for the grubs. I was thinking that maybe they wouldn't be able to test that. Was Peppa on his own already about half HP, and Death Rum is still available, but the side of Rip Harambe, they're gonna opt not to go for it. Here comes another final spark. Another combo comes. Here comes the mom. Gonna get some damage back. Two ultimates utilized on the side of AG Rip Harambe to try to take down Sinful Enjoyer, but don't have the damage for the moment. And now,
only in time they'll get a little bit more damage and able to hopefully burst down these carries.
Definitely so, definitely so. Well, more Void Grubs taken off the board. Now, looking at both sides. 3 Void Grubs over to the side of Rip Harambe, only 1 to the guys over on the blue side.
Yeah, they were actually able to secure that. Herald was actually... and we see Last Breath coming in on the mid lane.
Brayer is coming in though, but Don't Eat Bees will be too late. Flash comes out. Hey, he also finishes the kill. Now it's a 1v1. And Vex is coming up to help his mid laner, but the side of Perfect Bill is going to be coming along too. Oh, that is a good E to stop the Vault Breaker. And now Q3 lands, but there's final spark to be able to finish the kill, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 for the side of White Lotus Black Rose. This Yasuo has been, man, strong, bro. Like, super aggressive. In the face of Don't Eat Bees on this Syndra constantly, and he's struggling to be able to deal with it. And now Drake is going to be going over to the side of White Lotus Black Rose.
Yeah, Yasuo was definitely eating on that. As soon as he was able to secure that kill, lethal tempo all the way stacked up, able to E onto the Vi Vault Breaker and cancel it. Just great play from the Yasuo that whole time.
Hey man, I'm about to talk to the owner of the league, making it legal for y'all to make y'all team names a mouthful of words. All right. Saying White Lotus Black Rose. Try saying that fast 5 times. Too much. There we go. But on a serious note, though, we have Vex getting caught out, and he's gonna die in the jungle of AG Rip Harambe. I love it.
This is a great opportunity for Peppa Pig to go in onto them, but Death Realm is gonna stop that call of the board god.
It is gonna stop him, but we see the fight still goes on at top, but nobody should die. Pep's gonna go down low, but speaking of going down low, Simple is gonna get on low, barely misses, but it's gonna be caught out by the Vault Breaker instead, as Momo is trying to get something back, but not gonna be able to get the damage down to be able to finish off Major. And Simple just having a good time against his Lux.
We see this top lane kind of. They're literally on an island. Like, Ornn has gotten a kill and an assist, and oh my gosh, these bindings cannot miss.
Oh, if only the Steel Tempest, the third, only missed 2, as Major goes down again.
Yeah, this Yasuo is cooking.
Real deal cooking, man. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking about this ban list. Apparently, people keep trying to show me I'm wrong or something. But first turn is gonna go down to the side of Black Rose, and now, but that should be what? Is that that should have been Feats of Strength, didn't it?
Yep, you can see on the items, their boots have now got that red outline. They did secure the feats with objectives in tower. Actually, maybe kills in tower.
Yes, sir. And now, with Feats of Strength over to and White Lotus, Black Rose. And keep in mind. Oh, wait a minute. Sinful almost dying. Should be dead in a moment. Never mind. Flash gonna save the life. Gonna be able to make it out of there. Also, heal was still up, so Sinful should have been able to live. But Sinful needs to be more careful. You may have only died once, but you've been close. You've been on death's door majority of this game so far.
Yeah. So I was trying to say top lane before Yasuo got exhausted and was still able to get the kill onto Major. This top lane is an island, and it's not in the favor of this Mordekaiser. Just looking at this item, looking at the gold, yeah, he's 400 gold down. That's not even a full item. That's barely a ruby crystal, and this guy is even on items, even on even footing. He may be a level down, but he should be able to have an impact this game. He has not been shut out, has not been denied experience all that much, and we actually might see a solo kill right
now. Dies. Flash being suspended, and Hemo Mage is gonna go down to his orange solo bolo. He's been getting bullet the entire game, but eventually the Nurse Reprisal will take over, and Hemo Mage on this Mordekaiser is gonna get cooked in this top side, man. What is going on?
Yeah, when I see the Mordekaiser with 0 kills, I can tell you pretty confidently that he may or may not have an impact until this mid game when he's able to steal away a carry during a team fight, because he is not going to be winning out against that Ornn. That Ornn has just too much damage, too much survivability, and too much tank for him to eat through.
Keep in mind too, the Feast of Strength also going to be giving that buff to those Merc treads. Now along with the Hollow Radiance too, man, nothing but MR there. And Ornn's base stacks are no joke either.
Yeah, and Ornn is right. Like, I think Ornn is probably the best tank in meta right now. I mean, every other tank was affected by Heartsteel. This guy does not build Heartsteel as part of his core, so he's just gonna always be relevant.
I mean, I thought Ornn was always the best tank. I mean, Call of the Forge God just too good. No, I'm joking.
It generally is. It really is the best ability. I see Yasuo going in immediately out of 8. Oh, but he misses this. Oh, I was so excited.
I was too. I thought he was about to get another solo kill, but it was just like sadness moment. Sadness.
Yeah, thought it was going to be a solo kill, but he is not that guy.
Apparently not. Apparently not. You know, one day. He's almost there, though. He's almost there.
Back to check in on this Smolder. How well are they? So 190. This is... And we see a flat from the Yasuo over the wall on a perfect build. Not to be able to get the kill. Able to get a knock-up on it, too. Not to be able to get the ultimate. Brer is going to stay in the middle of them all and ends up going down. And this Yasuo cannot die. Valvithos through all of that with the shielding from Sinful, able to survive.
This man is unkillable in this mid lane. This Yasuo is going crazy. Remember what I said, guys, during draft. They may not have that much damage, but gosh damn it, it doesn't matter too much if the other team is CC'd half the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's kind of like watching Stewie 2K in CSGO for the first time. You say, why would you do that? Why would Yasuo flash over that wall? You can't explain it.
Hey, but he's making it work as now 5-1-4 with the first Ornn upgraded item of this game being on that Bork.
Oh yeah. I'll also say I miss when Ornn items had really cool names.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Those are so cool, and then they got rid of them. They nerfed Ornn by getting rid of those names.
They nerfed my heart. That's all they did. But don't worry, they'll live on. They'll live on in spirit. But speaking of living on, man, this Yasuo, like I said, 5-1-4, already completing the IE, the Infinity Edge, just now. And now as we look at the game, take a look at the game state here. Look, almost exactly a 3K goal lead over to the side of White Lotus, Black Rose. Kills in their number. I mean, turns about the same, but Jesus Christ, this is a wild one now. As the start was slow, but we're getting there. And speaking of getting there, man, Smolder stacks are at 208. Everything I have talked crap about as far as champions I don't like seeing IVSG playing or whatever it may be, they're blowing this out of the water. I mean, Yasuo's fed, Smolder's fed, and he almost has 225.
Yeah, this is about to be very, very over for the side of AG Harambe. But, I mean, there's always hope if they're able to get a really good fight, able to start something really quick, real good, quick, like, catches with that Syndra or the Lux. They have the opportunity still to come back into this game. It's only about 2k gold right now, so anything can still happen.
Well, speaking of hope, that hope has to be around the next drag. It's going to be the next 2 minutes and 56 seconds, man. Because the side of Black Rose, they're on Soul Point.
Yeah, and that Ocean Soul is just going to be paying dividends for this tanky team, able to sustain them throughout these fights.
Tanky, that's an understatement because we didn't even get the Leandry start to the Mumu this game. Straight tank items.
Yeah, I think he said, you know what? I don't think we need any more AP. I don't think we need any AP damage on our side.
The man said beef and beef accessories. Man said, give me the jerky, give me the links, give me everything. Jesus Christ. This game has turned into something that I didn't expect, and I don't think you expected either. But
no, absolutely not. But I can't not mention that I do just love this Ornn pick. Ornn is always going to be my favorite pick. Ornn and a Mumu. You lock those two things in, you might as well just say we did our best at drafting.
I respect that. I respect that. Alrighty, but Simple again getting another combo from the Lux.
Baron's from way downtown.
This time he's not gonna make it out. Baron's gonna finish the job that Perfect Build can't finish himself. But in this time, we got a fight going on. As Pepple is smart, he waited to use the Call of Force, got into Death Realm, both by half HP, but Hemo Mage with the W, trying to keep himself alive. He's going to heal pretty well. Flash comes out from the orange, trying to run away. Hemo Mage on the chase, and Flash comes out, almost finishes the kill. Not going to be able to make it up to him. The movement speed from that slain Scuttle is going to be the game.
Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket in from Jinx. Able to get the kill onto that orange.
Mark.
And that's going to secure them the mid tower as well. So that is just the equalizing kind of gold force. They're only 1k gold down now, and they may have their eyes set on this Baron with one member down there, kind of linchpin tank down.
Yes, sir. As Pings was brought out, keep in mind that you also does have teleport. So does Don't Eat Bees. But the vision control is a thing here. And keep in mind that Black Rose, they can't really see where the side of AG Harambe are at. They only got a ward on the Baron, which is blinded by a control ward, and you have this ward behind the pit itself on the other side of that wall. So for Black Rose, they might be walking into a death trap.
Yeah, we do see that the Smolder is fully online, hitting that 225 mark. Actually at 236 right now.
Alright, but it looks like AG Harambe, they're going to be going into this dragon. Is this coming up in the next 10 seconds?
Yeah, and I think that right now, White Lotus Black Rose just needs to kind of let it happen because they're going to be a little bit late. Oh my gosh, I'm coughing really hard. Hold on.
Oh boy! Lust Q caught 2. And last spark, final sparks, unfortunately, not going to really do that much damage. But this Lust, man, perfect build, constantly landing the CC. But here comes Vaz, he finds the curse of Sad Mummy on 2. Here comes Call of Force. One almost dead. Now Hemo Mage and perfect build half HP. But Brandon's going to find the kill on the support. But bodies are hitting the floor. And now the savior of Black Rose is dead and the fight is still on. Because Major is almost dead and the execute through Smolder is online. And now Momo, I mean, looking to finish this fight as 2 health bars already low enough. Ultimate's already expended, and he's playing his range very well now.
This fight is going on forever, and it's in the favor of White Lotus Black Rose because they have that Smolder who has not been touched even a little bit. That Ornn, likewise, they seem to have ignored him because they know they're not going to be able to take that health bar down.
And speaking of taking down, perfect build and Donny B's gonna have to back off because they're in an execute range for Momo to be able to finish them off. But perfect build,
one Q, maybe even just a sneeze onto perfect build is going to threaten their life.
But the final spark is coming back up. Teleports are coming back in. We're gonna have another fight coming out, boy.
Teleports in from both mid
It was a-
laners as well as the top laner.
Yep, here comes Miles. He's gonna be looking to fight 2v1. Hemo Mage taking a lot of damage, but so is the Yasuo in the last. Bruh,
Able to get that
finish.
reset
The
on his
Mordekaiser off.
passive shield.
And now Drake is gonna be taken by the side of AG.
Yeah, perfect build, able to get that steal.
Yes, sir, he is able to get that steal, but one thing is Vex is stealing the life, and Syndra's gonna die again. Major, you need to back off. It's called a Forge God comes out. It's gonna be another one down for the side of AG Harambe. Momo finds himself another kill, 6-1-7 on this Smolder.
Yeah, we are seeing a slow trickle of gold, both sides. One of them takes the lead, one of them equalizes, and we're seeing 2k gold, just about 2k for the side of Black Rose now, and sure, the game is going to be extended because they were not able to get the Dragon Soul, but they do not mind scaling a little bit further with this Ornn and Smolder combo.
Man, I just having to calm down a little bit, man. My blood was a little pumping. That fight, like, that was an extended fight, and I loved every bit of it. I'm pretty sure the people watching at home did too. As we see all caps messages coming out in the chat, and I'm with you guys.
Yeah, the fights have a very unique way of playing out since there is no real frontline for this AG Rip Harambe team. So they have to pick and choose when they go in, when they burst someone down. It's really dependent on whether Perfect Build or Don't Eat Bees is able to get a stun with or a snare with their Scatter the Weak combo or that the Binding from Lux. They have to play these real slow, meticulous kinds of team fights, and like Peppa Pig right there could have been caught out, but they don't have the vision, seeing that Vex is right there behind them in the Tribe Rush, shooting for him to get that bandage toss, and he's gonna get knocked up and sent into his own little death realm.
Yep. Return to sender. To the gray screen you go. Come back when you are ready to fight, as Mordekaiser died. And now, man, Baron's on the menu as it's already a quarter HP down. They're burning this thing down fast. But Donny Beast is gonna find Sinful and make sure he dies too. As now all the ultimates is just coming flying out, and Smolder executes too. And now 4 dead on the side of AG Rip Harambe. Only one left alive is Perfect Build.
Yeah, without a wave in the mid lane, so this is something that you'll see a lot of teams kind of tunnel outside of. They'll tunnel on an objective so much that they forget some of the basic steps that they need for this objective control, is like pushing out these mid waves, top waves, bot waves. And like, it's just a hard thing to do, and she's gonna try to get in there with that Lucid Singularity, but it's not gonna pop off in time to steal the Baron. But these mid waves not being pushed up for them just kind of nullifies some of the gold that they could have gotten with the Baron, or even potentially if they had a full wave, they could have actually looked for the end with 40-second death timers on everyone on the side of AG Rip Harambe.
Man, this game is just delivering fight after fight. You gotta love it. As now in this top side, and Peppa Pig and Momo, they're pushing, trying to get this tower. We got about half HP, but Momo just doing so much damage on this Smolder. You just, we kind of gotta feel bad for the side of AG Rip Harambe, mainly Hemo for a little. Got the winning lane on paper, but is getting beat down like a dog.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a pretty rough game one to come out of. Now they're looking at a 5k gold deficit, and that's going to be about a full item or so onto that Smolder. So we see he's just about to finish that Infinity Edge. Needs about 1,000 more gold before he can get that next item online, and it's really showing that this Smolder is able to play it well, able to scale into the late game where they need to be.
Man, we already passed the scaling point. 8, 1, and 9, and it's also, man, 10, 3, and 7. This is crazy. And I think it's the longest I've ever seen Autocon be alive in a game, by the way.
I am all for it. I have told my team that you do not ever need to touch the Autocon.
I mean, Autocon's kind of a bait at this point, though.
I think it's definitely a bait unless you know how to use it, which it's very hard to use. It's like saying getting a single drag for the stats is something that you need. I'm not Challenger. I don't need that. I can't do anything with it.
I mean, it would be the case of those back in the day. Like, we talking like season 4, season 5 back in the day where Drake gave you so much gold.
I miss those. I miss the old ugly drag.
See, it depends on which version of League of Legends you want to tell. If you tell me
Season
like
3.
okay. If I say if you tell me like 6 or 7 back with Mordekaiser dragon,
No, sir.
no, I'm
Release the
good.
dragon.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fight drag twice in my life like that, constantly.
Setup
All right,
and perfect build. Flash in that bandage toss. Scatter the weak. Not going to land on anyone. And already it's looking like a pretty rough start to this dragon fight.
well, you tell you what is going to land is that binding coming out of perfect build. Is now the dragon being started on the side of White Lotus. Black Rose is now Peppa Pig doing a good job of zoning the side of AJ Ripper off, and there is Soul collected over to the side. Now, Emo Mage is going to pay the price for standing up too far, and they're looking to continue to chase. Perfect Bill gets hit by the Call of the Forest God, and Curse of Sad Mummy finds 2. Yasuo, triple kill. Kenny gets a pencil. As now, the chase is on.
Momo
almost
able to get the kill.
But we're looking for more blood, but it seems like the last 2 members alive of AG Ripper are going to make it out in time.
This is seeming like the beginning of the end at this moment. Only the 2 carries are left to defend against this monstrous force that is White Lotus Black Rose. All of them full health, all of them full shields, all of them with that Ocean Dragon Soul. Not going to be going down for anything, and the knockup is going to be giving that Jinx her actual last breath. Yasuo able to secure that for them.
And speaking of all the full bars, man, the rest of Black Rose, they're just full sending and looking to end this game as 1 Nexus Tower falls down. Make it another in just a moment. Scatter Week did find all 5, but here comes the spawns.
Just 1 minion, not able to push down, but we'll see if they stick to it.
Like Scatter Week turned big right there. Able to keep the side of Black Rose from finishing the game. All right, but White Lotus Black Rose, it's gonna be clearing camps as they make their way out.
Yeah, just maximizing your gold when you can with the position. Tony B is walking into a dragon, maybe a baby dragon, but that baby dragon is still very dangerous and does have the ability to breathe fire.
Hey, yo, that's kind of terrifying now that I think about it. Like, keep this in mind. Imagine they get auto-caught at the Imagine Yasuo and Smolder already this big, but with a false life. That's terrifying.
Yeah, you're not getting a shutdown either. You're only getting 200 gold. So that's a third of the gold from the Yasuo and about a fifth of the gold from what you would get from killing that Smolder.
Bruh. This is wild. This is turning into a wild game here. Alright, but yeah, man, 27 to 23 in kills and gold over 10,000 to the side of White Lotus Black Rose. Game is just going. I mean, it's a perfect game 1 if you're on the side of Black Rose. I mean, the start was slow, but you can ask for nothing better, especially when you have Smolder.
Yeah, definitely. Which, who knows? They may need to adjust their draft because they banned out 5 mid laners on the side of AG Harambe, and now we're going to be seeing part of AG Harambe get caught out once again over in this top side of the jungle. And
yep, that's another death over to the side of AG Harambe as Momo's gonna find himself another kill. We're gonna have 2 players in double digits for kills for this game 1. We already got 14 on Mile in this Yasuo, man. It's been a fantastic game for him.
It absolutely has, and I'm surprised to see him performing so well. He actually hit a 10 kill power spike instead of a 10 death power spike. So that's very unique Yasuo playstyle. Nothing like my solo queue Yasuo's.
Yeah, man, we need him in solo queue, just maybe. Joking, but Baron is back up again, and now on the side of White Lotus Black Rose, we're gonna be starting it up. They're gonna still burning pretty fast once the rest of the team catches up. I mean, AJ Ripperami, they're not gonna be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, this Baron should likely lead to the end of the game. Peppa Pig actually just standing there, deep in thought, seemingly.
Hey man, he's just reminiscing about the times of the early game. He prayed for times like this. Man was getting bullied like the first 5 minutes.
I've come so far.
In the end, it doesn't even matter. Oh Lord! But now Baron taken by the side of Black Rose. I'm just saying Black Rose to save all the massive amount of words, guys. So Don't hate the enemy. Oh boy, Peppa Pig looking to return the favor after all that bullying he had early in the game. As Human Mage not really gonna be able to do any damage to him.
But we see a large wave coming in this bot side. This could be their avenue for getting into the base and finishing off that final Nexus turret as well as the Nexus. Looks like they're going to give up the tier 2. Scatter of the Weak is going to land very heavy damage straight onto Momo in the backline. But he is just going to get healed straight back up from the Shields of Sona, as well as that Drake is going to have to pop the cleanse. Bit early, if you ask me, but it is sometimes necessary to keep your health as full as possible in these situations.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. But now Elder Drake is coming up in these next 42 seconds. I wonder if they're gonna just look for the. Oh, they are. The Death Bush is coming to fruition. And now they spot perfect build. Perfect build. No, you're gonna die immediately. 2 seconds is all it took, and the Lux is down for the count.
Yeah, and I I mean, at this point, you might as well just take the Atacon. You guys have so much time before this dragon comes up. You gotta just, I think, full send. This Atacon would go down in just about 25 seconds. They could roll that straight into the Elder Dragon. But they're just gonna sit here, wait for Elder to pop up so that they can hopefully end this game. It's taking a little bit of time, flashing some masteries, spending a little bit of time just chilling. I don't think... are you able to see the fist bumps? And Malbithos is coming in on the Brayer, but are you able to see fist bumps in the Spectator?
Man, I wish you could, if you can. But Elder almost already dead. As this is... He only needs 3. And
Super Mega Death Rocket, surprisingly close.
That was scary, actually. Scarily close. But now Peppa Pig and Mal, you know, he's going to be looking to finish the job. As now here comes the last breath. Don't Eat B is going to be executed. And now Brayer is going to be next. Oh, the plane.
And Brayer able to cease and desist and pop themselves out of there. Right, but Momo popping the ult. Mom's coming down, able to secure the kill onto Brayer, who's not able to vault break themselves straight into the center of Fountain.
Yep, I know.
Just a little short.
Mom is proud of him. As now Hemo is under the tower just getting blitzed by Momo, but there's another executed. Mage is going to go down along with Hemo, and this game, it shall be over.
Momo almost dying in the tower.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of damage being taken. But
it's
that's going to be
Dragon Training complete.
Yes, sir. Dragon Training is complete. And what else complete is game 1 as White Lotus, Black Rose take game 1 in this series, guys. But this game was something.
Oh my goodness.
As you guys see, my voice already getting raspy. That's how much we've been talking already. Like left and right. You thought it was gonna be slow, but no.
Let's see.
Brother. How you feel about this game? Because when I look at this, I just think a beat down. 37k damage onto the Yasuo, 36k onto the Smolder. Meanwhile, Major and the Jinx Demon scratched with almost 16k, but wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the whole match went, I mean, you can't ask for a better playing from Black Rose, able to play off of a pretty cohesive comp. That AG Rip Harambe had, I think, the better kind of damage spread and opportunity if they were able to play a strong side top, but they just weren't able to get anything from that. Ornn Mordekaiser was kind of stuck into an even lane, which is where you never want to be even with a tank.
All right, but one thing that we're going to be giving you guys, unfortunately, bad news, but you know, you'll be okay. Well, you know, you might need this break. It's a brief intermission, but when we come back, we're going to be going into the game 2 of White Lotus, Black Rose versus AG Rip Harambe. We see you guys soon.
Oh, you dropped me a link.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in draft for game 2 of White Lotus Black Rose versus AG Rip Harambe and Diana Band along with a bag off the board. Make it so that Caitlyn to experience the band hammer too, along with Victor.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna have some pretty similar bands. AG Rip Harambe going for probably 5 mid laners once again. But I mean, you could just force them straight onto the Yasuo.
Well, it doesn't look like it no more. These are the same exact bands. But will Orin be the first pick again? No, it's going to be... Oh, the Dragon, maybe?
Molder. Okay. Hopefully we see something aggressive on AG Rip Harambe if they're able to play it. Something that can get rid and nullify that kind of safety that he has with an enchanter support like that Sona. So if they pick like a Blitzcrank or Tristana to really capitalize on, you know, like any mispositioning, that could really pay dividends.
I mean, they had a Lux and it still didn't matter. But this person can, though, a little bit more as Ash being locked in for the side of AG Rip Harambe and the arrow being able to lock down the opponent, especially the Smolder in particular. Every time he wants to move forward and play in a way that the side of White Lotus, they were playing that bot side in that early to midpoint.
Yeah, and okay, I really like the pick of Leona. Really strong ultimate, really strong abilities and utility, able to kind of mesh with all of the damage dealers, any kind of CC, especially this Ashe in lane. They'll be able to kite and secure kills straight off the bat, and we're gonna see Orin locked in once again. They're going for hyper scaling, and Black Rose gonna be locking in the exact same team composition. It's almost seeming.
Hey, they said if it worked the first time, why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But oh, unfortunate for White Lotus though, Yasuo would not be making a return this. I mean, Mao was a monster. 14, over 14 kills that game? Like he was going nuts.
Yeah, I mean, definitely double digits. I think 14 kills was the end.
Yeah, but now Xin Zhao's not going to be seeing the rift in this game too, along with that game win, man. I guess they just don't want to see Brayer on it, but Syndra going to be banned.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to see this mid laner who apparently is pulling all the bans. I wouldn't want them on Syndra, able to just kind of have so much agency and freedom with that scat of the week, able to give her a lot of freedom throughout the whole rift.
All right, so just pointing out though, almost all the bans are the same. AG Rip Harambe, of course, changed the Yasuo ban, but that Syndra ban is also too. As Orianna and Ahri are back on the board.
Yeah, AG Rip Harambe able to take the Amumu away this time around. Gonna give them a lot of CC and a lot of kind of positional advantage with that pick.
Definitely so. But I'm curious what White Lotus is gonna respond with. I mean, you're also gonna take it off the board. Amumu is literally locked in by the other team. You could just take the Orianna and get a champion that can go in, or Silas and get everybody's old instead. That works.
Yeah,
too.
hijacking a high value ultimate, whether it's a Mumu or Leona to get, or Ash to get a catch out or CC, or a Garen to just secure a kill, and then we're gonna see Sejuani locked in. We're hitting a really strong, like 2-2-1. So we got 2 frontliners with a Sejuani and Ornn. We got a Silas and a Smolder to carry, and then we have an Enchanter to just beef them all up and keep them in the fight longer. So you know the team comp on Black Rose is looking exceptionally strong, and not to say that Rip Harambe doesn't have a good composition as well. I mean, they have 2 tanks in utility with the Leona and a Mumu, Garen to split push or even to come in for the backline, and then Galio locked in to kind of wrap things up, able to be that magic damage soaking champion that Silas doesn't really like to deal with. Sejuani doesn't like to deal with because they're gonna have to be in his face anyway, and that's exactly where he wants them.
Definitely so, but keep in mind though, the strength of having a melee champions for the Sejuani to be able to get that permafrost off a lot more often.
Yes,
Galio is gonna be annoying, and that paired along with a Mumu, like the constant chain CC, along with Leona ultimate, man.
Yeah, I'm
Ooh.
worried for AG Rip Harambe in this because they do have a pretty melee-centric composition. I mean, they've got 4 melees and then the Ash. So if they're not able to keep Black Rose at bay or, long enough, like at bay long enough, then this Ash might not have any value if she just gets ran down, even through all of the frost that she can put on them.
Man, in particular though, the Smolder.
Yeah, this Smolder might just shred them and eat them alive too.
All right, guys, but I want to hear what you guys think. While we're building this new channel up, we don't exactly have predictions yet because we gotta get to the next stage. But tell us what you guys think about the draft in the chat. Trust me, I'll be reading it. I don't know if you're, I read it. I care about you guys' opinions. He doesn't, I'm just joking. But on a serious note, though, while you guys are type in, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah,
we're gonna be going to a brief intermission for game 2. Oh, you overhyping yourself up.
Chat is going crazy for Jira. Chat is going crazy for Jira right now. We got that pinned. Holy.
Bro is on his own account. That's crazy.
All right, intermission, I guess.
All right, but on a serious note, though, we're going to go to a brief intermission. When we come back, we're going to be hitting the rip game 2 of White Lotus Black Rose versus AG Rip Harambe. So take this time, guys. Get your drinks, get your snacks, use the bathroom, kiss your significant other good night because it's already late. And if you don't have one, just hug yourself and look in the mirror, Everybody, just get through it one way or another. But when we get back, we'll be hitting the rip for game 2. See you guys soon.
Yep. All good.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're now hitting the rear for Game 2 of White Lotus Black Run AG Real Harambe for your Season 3 Merc Academy Week 4, baby. I ain't forgot.
Four, yeah.
I had to message you guys a little bit. Had to message you. But Week 4 matchup as now, man. Smolder again, but no Yasuo, but this time Silas.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna be seeing 5 point once again. I'm flabbergasted. I'm seeing a ward in the bot brush. I guess they don't want to deal with I guess Leona getting in that brush early on, but a little bit of a waste of vision, I think.
Hey man, all I'm saying is no balls, man. Just walk into a bush. Just do it. Do it. Do it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, there's a term for it anyway, all right? You just face check. If no one wanted to face check, they wouldn't have made a term.
Yes, sir. You are right, and I want to see it. But on the real note, though, this game definitely should have a lot more action in the beginning, especially you got Galio matching up, which I'm expecting a lot of attention to go to for the side, at least White Lotus, Black Rose. I mean, we got the Smolder scaling, we got, Orin on the eye, Peppa again back on it. I don't expect much to happen on the side lane. And speaking of such, we already traded trades.
And not gonna say it went in the favor of Galio, but that handily went in the favor of Galio. I'm personally not a huge fan of Conqueror on Silas, even into matchups like Galio.
I mean, I'm not either, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm an electrocute abuser.
Of course you are. Of course you are. You Zed player? No, I'm joking.
Akali mainly, but yes, both of them perfectly built to use that electrocute. At level 2's in the mid lane, he's actually going to be going in for a pretty strong trade. AG Don't Eat Bees looking clean on the Galio. Clem's coming out from Momo.
Yeah, he said he want payback, man. He felt disrespected, and I don't blame him, man.
Dude. Yeah, you actually see Silas popped both of his pots, so he has no more sustain.
This topsider just rumbling back and forth just a tad bit. Orin still has really high base stats, so being able to trade back and forth for the moment against this Aaron. Emo trying to just take advantage of his champion being able to silence, but here we got to engage going on the bot side as now Momo is going to find himself on the receiving end, but only going to take about a good. Sinful is going to get in the trade back.
Yep, that Zenith Blade is going to be landing, but it's not going to be getting too much aside from a little bit of damage that's going to be healed back straight from the Sona.
And now Vest looking to gank mid. Gonna be spotted on that ward, but not gonna be trying to get the gank off as Donny B is postured on the other side of the lane. Not making that gank available at all, or at least easy.
Yeah, we actually see AG Rip Harambe going for the opposite pathing of last game. It's gonna strong side this top Garen, which I feel like is a little bit of a mistake because Garen will naturally outscale the Ornn if he's just able to farm. So I think I would have liked to see that Amumu cross down into the bot side of the map instead of the towards the top. It is gonna be able to stop that recall.
Especially though, and I agree with you, man. Especially when you're trying to keep the smolder. Big thing stopping your team comp from executing what they want.
Yeah, but for now, you know, we're even almost 4 minutes in. Not much action has happened. A brittle trade is. I mean, that's the peak of excitement we're getting right now.
Hey man, next time I'm trading you for Loki. I need your curse going, man. No more domain expansion.
I'm sorry. There's absolutely nothing happening. I don't know why this happens with me. But we could see a gank up here. Bandage Toss should be coming in to secure a stun onto Peppa Pig. And he's going to force the flash. Red buff still there. Not going to be able to predict the movements of Peppa Pig. Dude's got movement for days, and Brayer's going to have to get out of there.
Man, got his tap dancing shoes on, able to get out of that gang, make him miss the bandage. He's gonna be able to survive another day. But Wu is not gonna be dodging anything. Blade hit is on. Major trying to help his support perfect build, but Major already half HP. They're just walking into this beatdown from the Sona and Smolder. I thought they learned last time.
Yeah, Blade coming out again, but just gonna swing outside of Sinful's hitbox. See, this dragon is up now. I'm not quite sure who is going to be prioritizing it. I want to see this Amumu clear towards his top side again and try to get level 6 for those grubs. So I kind of want to see, but with a Smolder, you know, they don't have as much damage. So it could be anyone's dragon, really.
Hey, my brother in Christ. But speaking of dragon, man, Donny B is his gallows is dragging his stony foot across Mao's throat. That trade just. Beating down this Silas. I mean, abusing him.
Yeah, this Mal is getting. Mal is not having a good time in lane this time around.
There is no such thing as good time. It's only having one time, and that's Galio talk. Cause ain't much Silas can get this pick. But tell you somebody that can do something is Vex be able to help him out. But he's gonna be standing directly on top.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took him to think to see that ward. I think he was standing directly on top of it, just could not see it.
Yeah, he was. The elevator music is on for a hot minute. All right, Engage comes out. Here comes the taunt.
First of the Sad Mummy picked up by Silas, able to hijack that ultimate.
Utilized, and now Perfect Bill's going to be making his way into the fight, and now Vex is going to pay for the sins of his mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, They bit off a bit more than they could chew, especially with Perfect Build able to roam in from the mid lane, you know, taking a reset and coming straight over to the mid lane to try to secure a kill with their jungler. This is something I really like to see, is that the supports and the junglers playing together. You'll see that happen in even pro play, and we'll see another Zenith Blade connect onto Sinful here. But they're not going to be able to continue the chase. Is just going to walk out of there with her move speed.
Speaking of chasing, here comes Ornn running down Hemo. Now, Call of the Forge God hits as Hemo tries to flash it, but flashes into a wall. Unfortunately for Peppa, though, not be able to catch up with the Garen. So, Hemo Mage not going to be finished off this go round.
Yeah,
that top lane is either. So, even if Ornn backs, oh, never mind. We're talking about bot lane now. Blade finds Sinful on the brink of death. Now, Flash comes out. Major finds his mark. Kill over to the Ashe.
Yeah, that's huge. This is where you want this Ashe to be, just getting these kills so that she can scale far enough ahead of the Smolder that she's able to take anything. And right now, she's actually hitting the tower, which I'm not the biggest fan of the damage, just to put damage on the tower. I think they could have taken a reset, or maybe they just wanted to sit on this cannon wave.
I just want to point out, man, I feel like Sinful is just doing the same mistakes before in the last game, except this time there's a bot lane that can actually kill him.
Yeah, just a little bit more threat because the Leona just amplifying that damage is going to be a problem for Sinful stepping up a little too far.
I mean, not even just that, more CC also. You got the Xenoblade, you have the Q coming out from Leona. Not even level 6 down and drop down that good old Solar Flare, but speaking of level 6, Enchanted Crystal Arrow is available. Beat down this mid lane, man. Hate to see it, hard to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's sitting at 20 CS over this Silas right now. This is stark contrast when they're both when they're both even footing melees.
Yep. Galileo opted to build the Spectre's Cows. I'm be going into MR item initially. Probably gonna be not Hollow Radiance. Sorry, I am tripping. But here comes the Enchanted Crystal. We're gonna find Sinful again. Sinful 4, and along with the mob coming down, Major a lot of damage in that. AG Rip Harambe, their bot lane's gonna be forced to back off.
Yeah, Crescendo is gonna be the ultimate disengage in that moment. So that is going to pretty much end that trade right there. But Major is just a little bit low. Rare coming in possibly for a gank here.
And keep this in mind, Solar Flare is still available. And now, take a look at Don't Eat Beats. Posturing his way down and going ahead and down. We'll be able to get into that range up for his ultimate. But at least they're going to go back mid and they're going to call off this.
Of note right now, no one has taken this dragon yet. So,
but Void Grubs go to the side of Black Rose.
This is a great position for the Galileo, just about to pick up his Sunfire item. I mean, that's going to be insane wave clear for him, and as soon as that happens, he's just going to be walking top side, bot side, looking for a fight.
Oh, you know what? I laughed at myself. I said the right item before. It is Hollow Radiant.
There it is. I couldn't think of it. I heard you say it too.
Yeah, I literally said Hollow Radiant, and I was like, what am I? Not Hollow Radiant. No, yes it is. What am I talking about? Oh,
gold right now is, they're 2 kills. They're up 1,000 gold, which it's not a lot, but I mean in the early game it's going to be at least a component, which these stats are nothing to joke about. Come any kind of fight.
But we got a problem though. Like, think about last game in this top side, right? Ornn didn't fall behind, just kept up in CS and like barely fell behind in gold, right? And is able to just take over outside the lane opposed to Hemo Mage. It looks like we almost about to have a repeat. As we look in the top side now, here comes the game coming. They're looking for the kill as now Glacial Prison hits his mark and Hemo Mage is looking like he's gonna die. Oh, wait.
Smite trying to give the kill over to the Ornn, but not able to fully send that. And we do see the dragon being picked up by Brer on the opposite end of the map during that. So good play by White Lotus Black Rose, able to secure a kill onto that Chemo Mage, kind of force him to slow down his scaling. But yeah, I mean, definitely Ornn is in a positive environment right now. Garen getting a little bit behind, but the difference between Garen and Mordekaiser is that Garen has built-in armor shred in his kit. So even if this Ornn is able to get ahead and build some armor, Garen can shred that armor and just run away. That's what he's good at.
Speaking of running away, like Brer will not be. Flash over the wall. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide. Looking to finish the kill. Mom does calm down. Statued man named Galileo, as Vex is now on the chase, but gonna be on the river, so gonna be looking to try to Q his way over the wall, but it's currently on cooldown, so this happens. But he's gonna get damaged in the process. Luckily, it's a big.
We see them all kind of say we don't want to take this fight, and I'm not sure if they knew this, but that Sejuani dash, that dash is her longest cooldown. I think it's about 17 seconds, level 1, and you don't level that up for a while.
But it's not even just that, though. I think they should have really took the fight, because Silas was already about almost out of mana.
Yeah, they definitely had an opportunity, but I think they play it on the safe side, and they may be better for it.
All right, somebody asked for a Smoda stat check. I got you. 90. Oh, sorry, not 90. 84 to be exact. Make it 86.
Yep, this Smolder's looking pretty good with the stacks. I mean, I'm not disappointed. I am very content. I mean, 102 CS at 13 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start putting an asterisk by this champion on my IPSG ban list now.
The
Void Grub's coming up fairly soon. Says one area on that side of the map. Looking to go and take 6. Even though I think Drag is probably a lot better for them. But granted, not giving Garen any Void Grubs still is a win in my book.
Yeah, I mean, I think that so the way I'm seeing it is that White Lotus, Black Rose does not need to scale, so they don't need that dragon. Those dragons are going to help you scale into the late game because they're going to give you those bonus stats without any items. So they don't really need that. They already have everything they need with Ornn and Smolder. So they're fine giving up these drags and able to pick up these Void Grubs, which, like you mentioned, the added benefit of denying that Garen all those Void Grubs because he's going to be sitting in the side lane the whole time.
Oh, we're looking for a fight here. 2-on-3. Silas is going to be late to the party. He is now. Crescendo comes out. Curse of Sad Mummy. All the old. Here it comes. Curse of the Sad Mummy. As Brad almost take it down. Here it comes. Blood Grant. Hero entry is going to be denied. As now they're looking to take the kill. Brad is finally the first one to go down. Curse. Man. Calling the forward shot. Did hit his mark. And now out of White Lotus, Black Rose, they're on the run, but Peppa Pig is not leaving out, killing someone. His own Hemo Mage trying to get more damage down, but don't have the items to really just deal with Ornn at the current moment.
Yeah, it was a very long fight, and at the end of it, we just see 2 going down. Both junglers and mid laners are going to be paying the price for that fight. And it's something that you'll notice is that the fight took so long because neither side really has that much damage right now. I mean, Silas is a pretty bruisery mid laner for an AP mage. He kind of goes in there and stays alive, kind of uses his utility, or at least he uses the enemy's utility and stays alive with that Kingslayer. And the same thing with Galio. He just goes in, stays in the action, kind of tanks and soaks up all that damage. So it was just a battle of the tanks, and they all died. So without that Ashe, without the Smolder, the damage is going to be lacking throughout all of these team fights that we're going to be seeing.
Yes, sir. Battle of the wet noodles. Gotta love them. Gotta love them. All right, guys. When you take a look at the game state now, little over 1K gold lead over to the side of. I'm sorry, not 1K. Sorry, excuse me. About 500 over to the side of AG Ripper. My apologies on that one. I am tripping. But 4 kills. 4 kills to 3. Game is still fairly close, but one fight can break open this game very quickly. As we also have the first item completed over by the side and from the Smolder. Ashe paying the tax, getting the execution is calling fairly early. It's not gonna be on the first item for a little bit. Teleport coming in from the Ornn.
Yeah, time's gonna be short.
All right, and it's now with this aggressive posturing for this dragon. But keep in mind, Ornn already half HP. Meanwhile, the whole other side, Hellbar. So they just opt to push down this mid lane.
Yeah, now we're seeing a little bit of some ARAM action just before this Chemtech dragon.
Yep. All right, Silas does have a good ultimate on his hands though, with the Galio to help with the engage. And speaking of Galio, here you go. Taunt finds too. It's double knockup, and as we see all the ultimate flying, and Galio and Garen almost dead. So is a Moo Moo. So many low HP bars, but for the side of White Lotus, Black Rose, they find 3 kills in the shutdown over the Momo. Oh, they might find another one. His Mage's mispositioning almost heavy, but Dragon will be going over to the side of White Lotus, Black Rose.
I mean, yeah, that was a little bit of a cluster in that mid lane, but just the value of these tanky frontliners on both sides of the teams. We could see that both Smolder and Ashe were not touched at all during that fight. So you're just trying to play a front to back. So I'm not sure where the miscommunication on AG Harambe kind of went, whether it was just target focus or someone got caught and they didn't have enough damage to put onto them. But yeah, the White Lotus Black Rose was able to come out on top of that fight.
Definitely so, definitely so. And now, even with that fight though, gold is still fairly close. And I mean fairly close. About 500 gold lead over to the side of White Lotus instead of AG Harambe. But keep in mind, like I said earlier, it was shut down over the Smodus. And now with the pickaxe and the double Ruby Crystal, looking pretty good as now Ash finally finished the Kraken Slayer. Another big thing was missing from that fight was the first item from Ash from having to pay the Executioner calling tax.
Oh man, yeah. I did not even recognize that. So that would probably that might match that might answer the question of where the damage was for a little bit of that fight.
Definitely so. But now, guys, as we take a look at the board, Rift Herald is available. Up taken for the grabs is now the side of White Lotus, Black Rose. They do have majority of their team on this top side, but the same can be said for AG Rip Harambe. Only people on this, this farm is bottom half, both mid laners, but the teleports are available. And keep in mind, Silas does have his ultimate up, but granted, his last ultimate he took was Don't Eat Bees, so it's gonna be on cooldown for a bit. Speaking of Don't Eat Bees, there's a little bit of an engage. As now the taunt comes through, Don't Eat Bees eating a couple of tower shots, but still getting way more damage down.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good use of Galio. The way he's weaving in his abilities and CC to get that second portion of his passive and resets on it. Like he's playing Galio real well.
You're never getting to that point where it doesn't matter for Garen being head or behind the Orin because the armor shred is a pain in the butt to deal with. But Vex is nearby, and now we got called a Forge out coming out. The ult and the flash did go upwards, but he's still gonna get called by both ultimates. Glacier Prison does find him, and now another flash of the Orin, and Vex is gonna find himself another kill. 3-2, 20. And
yeah, all flashes on the top half of the map being utilized there. Brer didn't use his because he's bot side farming, but top jungle, at least for the side of Black Rose, are not going to be having their flashes right now, but they were able to secure this kill on the top side and then move straight onto the Herald.
I'm the biggest hater in this game, bro. I can never get Ferocious autocon ever, no matter the amount of fight. I only see Ruinous, see Ferocious.
I'm sad. I do not want Voracious.
I only get Ruinous, man. I'm sad, man. I don't know what False Light feels like no more in my games. We don't know Rose Petals.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but another tower going over to the side of AG Rip Harambe. Like, just making it hell for Mal to be able to side lane, especially.
Yeah, the first tower going over for AG Rip Harambe, and that's going to secure feats for them. They were able to secure the first 3 kills of the match and then get the first tower.
But the autocons on the other side of the map just go around, showing how much the Orin and Garen was fighting along with the ganks coming in. They came in, sorry. Major just taking a good amount of damage, man. But let's do a Smolder check real quick. Smolder at 173 stack.
About
Ugh. I mean, it's good for the side of White Lotus, but terrible if you're AG Rip Harambe. What was that glacial? You know what? We didn't see it. Did you see anything, Jira?
I had my eyes closed. I'm going to be honest. I was not thinking or looking at anything. Herald popped over into the mid lane.
Okay, cool. No one saw nothing. Good.
That's entirely my bad. I was not paying attention.
Oh no,
for
okay.
Just a split second.
I'll let you know what happened then. Let's just say a glacial prison came flying towards a wall, but nobody was at that wall.
Huh.
Yep, flash being brought by Perfect
going
Build.
to be successful in securing that flash from Perfect Build.
Oh yeah, all right. The viewers said they ain't see nothing either. Good. Y'all, and give yourselves a round of applause. Alrighty, guys, but Drake is now here, and we're looking to start another fight. Garen and Orn are entering the fray. Garen just pushing in the mid lane a little bit, so he's gonna be on that flank. But the side of White Lotus, they'll be able to see him coming, as they do have pretty well warded over to the left. You got that vision control on the river, for the most part, the top half of it at least. Oh, flash forced to be burned as Silas does use the enchanted crystal arrows.
Yeah, Ash getting a little bit of taste of her own medicine with that one, and Brer gonna be getting a huge Spanish toss into the center. Galio gonna be charging in. Hero's Entrance gonna knock up 4 members of the enemy team. AG Major gonna be hitting from the backline this whole time.
Oh, this fight's going to the side of White Lotus. Is gonna be able to get these executes in a moment. As now Silas actually finally finding his kills. But
Ash is looking online, but she steps a little bit too close to fire. Played a little bit too close into that front line of White Lotus Black Rose and is going to be paying the price. And Smolder is going to be picking up a couple of kills there. It's going to be 4-0 on Smolder this time around. And we are about 12 stacks from this Smolder being completely online, able to get some full executes.
I was calling it out during the fights, man. Smolder being untouched is being able to get that free damage, the nightmare that would be for AG Rep Harambe. And it is coming true as the exit. If they have another fight, like, it's pretty much going to be game over. Smolder's pretty much there for the execute. That go round he didn't have it, really. If he did, that fight would have ended a lot faster.
Yeah, I think something that ended up happening was AG Major just kind of tunneled in on seeing that the red team kind of expanded. They were in a whole column and they wanted to step in so they could have the most surface area coverage of the enemy team, but they were walking into the face of that Ornn and that I forget who was last alive. I think it was the Ornn Sejuani, and ended up paying the price, dying a little bit earlier than they probably should have.
And I just want to point out, man, even though Mao being behind 1-3 on this Silas, man, raising so much hell up in the front with the Sejuani, with the Ornn, not allowing the of AG Rep Harambe to get to that backline, especially, and not really meant being said, sinful, having that humongous crescendo to be able to stop 3 members of AG Rep Harambe dead in their tracks. I mean, the ultimate is used there, which is pretty big, like for the side of White Lotus Black Rose.
I mean, both teams played that, I think, extremely well. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of the Smolder not being able to get touched, and Garen, I think, not providing as much utility in a front-to-back team fight like this compared to the likes of Ornn and Sejuani. And we're even seeing it's just about 1K gold deficit, so neither team is securing a solid lead right now.
Man, as now the Xenoblade finds Momo has a squad. Now Perfect Bill is going to be on the run a little bit, on the wrong side of the fence, buddy, and you put yourself there.
And we're seeing Smolder is online right now, and yeah, he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. I think their eyes were a little bit too big for their tummy. Seeing just an opportunity to land onto that Smolder, but then instantly getting collapsed on by 4 members of White Lotus Black Rose.
Speaking of that Smolder, man, being at over 230 stacks now, they're looking to get Kai Hema Mage, but Glacial Prison is not available. But Ornn is coming into range. We'll be able to get the call. Probably not, because now the speed boost is coming through. But Smolder is constantly slowing. It's not going to matter. Get big dog. 6-0-3 on for Momo on this Smolder this game.
This is looking potentially the beginning of the end once again, but they do still have time. I mean, these team fights can go either way. Smolder's going to be a little bit better at securing early kills in the team fights, but I still think there's a lot of opportunity for this AG Rep Harambe team with the composition they drafted. They just need to get this Garen in a side lane where he can have the most impact.
But speaking of impact, man, all those tower shots that don't need bees, is starting to bite him in the butt. Now Mao is going to look to get a solo bolo in this bottom lane, but not trying his best to get on the don't eat bees, but man is just dancing around him. Enchanted Crystal
gonna save him. Let's go.
And don't eat bees saved by his teammate.
Yeah, the great escape going to be happening for Galio in that moment.
Alrighty, and guys, and somebody asked for the Smolder stat check. I did give you guys a stat check right before the Garen chase, so let's go for another one. Should be about 240 now. Yep, 248.
Yeah, moving straight from the Atacon onto this Baron. It could be a little bit dangerous if they're able to get a couple of picks on the side of AG Rip Harambe. They can definitely pick out Sinful right here, standing alone. But teleport coming in.
Oh boy, there it is. Miles finding Major. They're looking for the. And now Hemo is going to be in the rear. Might land it by the side of White Lotus Black Rose. But the execute from Smolder when they thought AG Rip Harambe was going to be able to kill somebody with a Garen ult. No, not. Oh, and now Smolder just having his way with the rest of the enemy team. And 3 dead as Momo goes legendary. 8, 0, and 4. It is Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, going 3 for nothing, effectively is going to be really strong for Black Rose. Should be able to push down this mid tower if they have the damage onto it. Don't eat bees is going to be getting onto Sinful. Sinful not going to be falling down just yet. In fact, able to survive the whole time. That red buff almost able to take her out, but this is going to be the end of the push. Able to take a tier 2 and an inhibitor tower, and the inhibitor is going to be staying alive.
And I'm just saying, somebody needs to record both game 1 and game 2. Simple is giving everybody a match on the edge of death. Every single time, almost about to die, and how barely makes out the skin of his teeth. But now Dragon coming up in another 12 seconds in the side of White Lotus Black Rose. They're gonna get that reset. So much gold for them to spin off of that push and off of that Baron. There's gonna be some more as now Miles gonna find another turn down.
Yeah, they're just taking towers left and right. I mean, they finally break that T1 in the bot side of the map, and if they're able to push out some of these waves, they should be able to secure Dragon control. But we see that Rip Harambe is already on it, at least in terms of vision control and positioning, able to take out the blue buff as well, give their team that extra cooldown and resource.
Definitely so, definitely so. It's now Black Rose gonna be able to take control of that river. It's now we got a little squabble on the top side as Hemo just getting beat down by this Orin. And speaking of top lane, both top laners do have their teleport up. Now, neither team on soul point, but I mean, I'm gonna be mad if you decide I want to get the Dragons now. Dragons being started by AG Rip Harambe, only about a quarter HP, killed off it so far by half. Here comes teleport. Garen now late TPing to follow up as Major is gonna find him still available, but not the jungler's life no more as. Man, Brayer is going to find himself a great screen, and he will be followed soon by the rest of his teammates. Or at least one more, as the other two, the Garen and Perfect, will be able to make it out alive. But for the side of White Lotus Black Rose, they're looking to end this game with this wave in mid.
Yeah, I mean, Major being caught out in between a Crescendo and an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. I mean, you can't do much when you can't move at all. But with this minion wave, they should be able to clear this up. They still have the Glacial Prison as well as Hijack on the side of Silas if they want to go for the end here. Seems that they're actually all going to be backing out. Momo just walking, taking some tower shots for fun, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he's too good for the... too good. Too good for them things, bro. Holy crap. But it only takes a little bit. It don't take much. And now the side of White Lotus Black Rose are going to be taking that bot tower, that T2 tower. Let's see how much gold the guys have on them for their recall. I gotta see. Let's see. Everybody has at least 1,000 gold in the pocket or more, especially if Silas in this game. Almost 2,900 gold in the pocket.
Yeah, we're
gonna be a big spin.
Pretty much a full item.
Yeah, pretty much. Good gracious, 9, 0, and 5 on this Dragon. Momo is going nuts. 2 games back to back. Hey man, hey, look at how these games go. You think it was worth banning mid? I don't think so.
5 bans towards mid. I mean, hey, if he is the main threat, I definitely would say that it's probably good they got rid of him, but they need to figure out a way to nullify that Smolder or just take it out of the game entirely. So maybe it's worth to ban Smolder every once in a while against this team if they are going to be prioritizing putting the ADC on that namesake role of carry.
Yeah, because right now Momo sure hell is carrying the side of White Lotus Black Rose this game. I mean, last game, both him and Mal just ran him over, but Momo just going absolutely ballistic, putting the team on his back. I mean, his mid fell behind, doesn't matter. We execute. Alright, but the game right now kind of slowing down despite really the side of White Lotus. They could have just pressed the gas pedal and tried to take another tower somewhere else.
No, yeah, we've got a little bit of a lull in the rift right now. Not much to take, not much to do, at least for the side of AG Rip Harambe. They don't have much of their own jungle to get right now. It's all cleared up. And there's not an objective on the map until the next minute or so. Baron will spawn at around that 34-minute mark. Gonna be trying to prioritize getting this P2 in the top lane, and that mid lane is gonna push on its own with those super minions. Sejuani gonna clear it up as well to provide that extra little bit of pressure. And we have 5 on the top side of AG Rip Harambe gonna try to engage onto them. Crescendo gonna land onto Major, who is not shooting out the, actually missed the Enchantress Flare possibly. I did not see it go out.
Yep, he did miss it, and so did the bandage toss that came out from Brera. That missed also. As now the side of White Lotus gonna be pushing hard onto the top teeth. Nice. Here.
Flash and Cleanse gonna be popped by Momo. Able to actually stay in the backside, but AG Rip Harambe able to get pretty good fight on this side.
No.
Able to take out the Sona, but it is going to be going a little bit south. The Smolar going to be going down by Hemo Mage. Able to get the Demacian Justice. Able to call down a smite with that ultimate. And AG Rip Harambe are now going to have to disengage because they do end up losing the long-term fight with the tanky front line that is Mal, Vexed, and Peppa Pig.
Yeah, man, they had to use so much to get onto Momo that made sure he not get any more executed. But the price they had to pay was Mal and the rest of the crew able to get their damage to finish out the rest of the teammates. But Mal almost finding Major again for another death. But instead, Hemo's going to be found. Hemo might execute.
Yeah, this is a great position. Major able to hit the whole time in the backline right behind Hemo Mage. And, I mean, a Garen sitting on top of them is going to be a bit of a problem.
Why did they re-engage that? There was no need to. Now you just put money back in the pockets of AG Rip Harambe. And especially now, two vital timers as Baron is back on the board and Dragon's gonna be coming up in another 27. And all 5 members of AG Rip Harambe are up, but with the waves pushing into their base, it gives White Lotus some grace period here to not be able to go and take Baron off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, even if they were able to push Baron right away, they would have to wait for this dragon to be up for them to actually be able to put some pressure onto White Lotus Black Rose. They just need one more dragon, and that Hextech Soul is going to be extremely dangerous. They're going to nullify any kiting ability that AG Major has because that slow is ridiculously strong.
Speaking of the dragon being up, the timer all set as Silas just now coming up, but no teleport. And for the side of AG Rip Harambe, if they would just want to move down, they could have had control of it. But Garen being on this top side of the map, Ash having to push in and push that mid wave out of the base. That means the side of White Lotus, Black Rose, they're gonna be getting control of the and to be able to
the inhibitor is gonna be spawning right now as well.
Yep, for sure. And now the side of AG Rip Harambe, they're backing off. They don't want to find themselves in a fight in these choke points, which I understand. It makes perfect sense. Not getting the maximum damage put down by the Smolder, but White Lotus, Black Rose, they're going to be looking to take the trade and go for this Baron while AG Rip Harambe going to be fine with taking this dragon.
Yeah, I almost want to say that both of these teams want to try to just, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation, I think, for the side of AG Rip Harambe because if they try to contest, they're likely just going to get aced, and if they try to trade objectives, I mean, you're giving away a Baron or a Dragon Soul. So there's no position that AG Rip Harambe was in where they came out on top.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Baron over to the side of White Lotus, Black Rose. Inhibitors are up, so no super minions for the moment, but 2 necking inhibitors means just push in and just grab all they want. Because what can AG Rip Harambe really do about it? Hemo May is looking for the flank, but going to be spotted out. Now Hemo is going to die immediately. Lasted about.
Yeah, looking for anything to do. They have to be proactive on the map, but if you're just proactive for proactive's sake, you're just going to end up falling, and that's exactly what happened. And now White Lotus is going to be looking for the final push into the AG Rip Harambe base, and the Call of the Forge God is going to be going down. Might be able to knock up multiple, but is only going to land on Major. Glacial Prison, as well as the Enchantress Lair, is going to come down, and the ultimate from every single champion is going to be popped, and Peppa Pig going to be tanking both towers for seemingly 5 minutes. And yeah, Momo not going to be touched a single time, and is going to be able to execute pretty much everyone on that enemy team. And that is going to be game 2, going over to White Lotus Black Rose.
Another 2-0 for the night, guys. Over Solo Oasis gets the 2-0, and now for over on this stream, White Lotus Black Rose finds the 2-0 over AG Rip Harambe to close the series out. Well, that was something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both sides played that I think as well as they could have. Definitely the top lane not having that traditional kind of tank champion pool for the side of AG Rip Harambe is a little bit of a struggle, especially if you're going to try to run something with it was almost like Ash was the only source of DPS on that team. I mean, Galio was able to get a lot of damage down, just because he's right in the middle of the fight, able to trade a lot early onto the Silas. But without like that Garen in the side lane the whole time, or the efficacy of a tank, I mean, you're not going to be getting too far ahead. And the composition really just fell apart when you face a similar comp with actual tanks instead of a Garen.
And I just didn't really like the Garen picking this comp. I mean, if you're gonna pick to play team fight like that, I think there's a lot more better picks than Garen, who either and wants the side laner get a really good flank, but you're running into so much CC. Like, only thing you're just doing is pressing Q. Meanwhile, this Orange Sedge warning, their side just stay on top of you, just not gonna let you over to the smoke. And then also not only that, but smoke just being able to press E flower kind of helps their case too. So I don't know. I just think that Garen could have been like something else.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of Momo, 40,000 damage on this Smolder for this game too, man. Just
Yeah,
giving everybody a masterclass in IBSG how to play Smolder. And
Yeah, Momo definitely popped off this game. Was definitely the big problem. I think both games.
it definitely was. But guys, it's gonna be all for us on our end, and another series done. And that's what end for week 4, and we still got a little more time to go. And looking to have more games coming to you. But guys, thank you for showing up and thank you for coming out. As we're gonna be closing things out on our end. You guys have a great night and make sure you kiss, your significant other, brothers, little sister, mother. I don't care whichever one. Good night. Tuck them in or your homie on the forehead, whatever. But you guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.